a little bit late. Now I am going to share this broadcast to each and everyone. We're streaming live onto Facebook and YouTube simultaneously. Thank you all. Earlier on, I came live to alert each and every one of you that we will be coming live, and I want 1 minute, guys. I just want to share this onto my wall so that it goes to wherever it has to go. Okay, 1 minute, Comrade Taiwo. I think I need to share. I need to share this podcast, or perhaps the other people will, other administrators will help us in sharing it. Let me go back here and let me go back into Liberty Media Communications. Yeah, so here we are. I want to see this live stream. Okay, I want to share this live stream now because I've got Comrade Victor Taiwo, who is patiently waiting for us. I don't want to share it to a group. I want to share it to. I don't want to. Let me see. This is the first time I'm having to go through this hassle. More options. Okay, let me do this. Share to a group. Yeah, let me see the group that I have option with. No. Okay. It's given me a little bit of problem, but I'm pretty sure that the others will share the program. Comrade Taiwo, without further ado about nothing, you are welcome to the show. We've been waiting for this show for a long time.
Thank you.
Yes. Guys, today is Monday, the 2nd day of November 2020. The time in London is 18:15. I did promise each and every one of you that I will be coming back live at 6 o'clock London time to stream a show on the problems facing the Yoruba World Congress in Nigeria and across the whole world. On Saturday, I tried my best to play you a tape that was made live to many of you, my avid viewers across the whole world, concerning Professor Banji Akintoye's appearance on one of the UK platform. I was worried. And you heard for the first time from Comrade Victor Taiwo. I'm not going to waste much time. Comrade Taiwo.
Yes.
Could you please tell us a little bit about yourself in just 2 minutes?
Well, I have a standard way of introducing myself. That I'm Victor Taiwo, a Yoruba man who is committed to the liberation of the Yoruba nation and the greatness of the Yoruba nation. That's all I usually put across as my introduction.
Right. You are committed to the realization of the Yoruba nation. And yeah. For how long have you been in this battle?
Well, so glory to Almighty God. Let me quickly say this before I go ahead. I would have preferred this program is to run in Yoruba language so that it doesn't look like we are exposing ourselves to the outside world.
I know
But if
we
you insist, hold on. If you insist it's going to be in English, then I have interest. But if I would make a preference, I prefer that you don't open our dirty lining and linen to the world. So
yeah,
that we
you
can.
can bring in Yoruba language if you want, but
Okay.
now don't forget that some of our children, obviously because of NSAS
Mm,
that are across the whole world,
okay.
they understand Yoruba, but some of them are struggling with the language.
Okay. Okay. Let's go ahead. Let's go
Yes,
ahead.
so
Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead.
you can at some point in time you can input we can input Yoruba if there is the need for it.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah. Now, um,
Oh, you asked me a question. For how long I've been on the job?
yes.
Thank you very much. I will say that before I go ahead, I wanted to say something. Um, I am representing an organization, and whenever I use the word, I become I or me. Please be sure that I am talking on behalf of the organization, not that I'm personalizing anything. So that's the level I want to put. Now, I want to say that it is on record that our organization was the first to be established as a self-determination organization, not only in Yoruba land. That's
Which of the organization are we talking about here?
Odua Redemption Alliance. Odua
Okay.
Redemption Alliance was the first self-determination organization to be established not only in Yoruba land but in Nigeria. And it was the day, the creation dated back to 7th April 1994. So by calculation by now, we are talking of a project of over 26 years. So essentially, I've been on this project for good over 26 years,
Mm.
consistently, without any interruption, and full time on the job, working at an average of 14, 16 hours per day. Thank you.
Now, some of my avid viewers, before we go into the murky area where I will prompt you to start spitting fire, because you're going to spit fire, I presume.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Now, I want you to tell my viewers, my audience across the whole world, your relationship and your connection with the formation of Omegbe Yoruba.
Omegbe Yoruba. How do you mean by Omegbe Yoruba?
Omegbe Yoruba in terms of the entire Yoruba nation combined, your role in the formation of that entire Yoruba nation, because you must have been playing an active role.
All right. Thank you very much. Well, as I said, we began the project in 1994. By 1995, I did not know of any other organization. By 1996, I heard of some other organizations running the Yoruba program. And how come I came to know about this organization? I was in audience with my late mentor. I was in audience with my late mentor, Tibola. We were making an agreement on the project of Yoruba Nation. I was on the side of Yoruba Nation. He was on the side of Nigeria.
That
So
was Chief Bola Ige then.
yes, yes. So we were making this argument. We argued for about 1 hour. I was a proponent of Yoruba nation. He was a proponent of Nigeria. And at a point, after a long hour of discussion, argument, no victor, no vanquished. At a point, I had to give him a body slap. I said, look, Baba, I used to call him Baba. Why are you so vehement about this Nigeria? Why are you so connected to this Nigeria thing? Even your boss, who committed all his life to Nigeria, regretted his action.
That
I
was
said,
that
look,
was
boss,
that was the late sage Chief Obafemi Awolowo.
oh, yes. He said, who? I said, Awolowo. He said, Victor, what do you mean? I said, I meant what I said. Awolowo regretted his action following Nigeria. He said, where do you have your evidence? Do you have the tape? Do you have this? Do you have that? I said, don't worry, sir. I just uh, completed the manuscript of my very popular book, Nigerian Gunpowder, yet unpublished then. I said, I will give you the evidence. I now flagged the page of where I read out the secrets of the lamentation of Awolowo. And I gave the book to him. Within 3 days, he had consumed the big volume, 563-page book. He saw the evidence there. Then,
Okay. Yeah, let me stop you there, because the whole idea, because we've got just an hour to air this,
okay,
and I promise all my viewers it won't be more than an hour.
okay.
Now, you were very close to both Chief Bola Ige in those days, and according to the tape, the interview that you granted me, that was played on court. Now, where did Professor Banji Akintoye fit in the Yoruba agitation, in your own opinion?
Okay. Before I come to the area of Professor Banji Akintoye, because of the time, let me quickly run certain stories in few minutes.
Yes.
I have always believed that if we want to achieve our liberation, which has been my own primary motive, we needed to be cooperative, to be united as a force before we could achieve anything. Unity, 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 unification, you know. So the first attempt that I made was in 1996, when Chibola Ige told me that there were other organizations on ground. He was the one that told me, that made me to know that there was one OPC, headed by Dr. Fred Dufasio. Then it made me to know that there was another organization known as the Odua Youth Movement, headed by Yodo Kolawole, my friend. So I went all out to bring the three together so that we become a united force. So just to show you how much I have always been interested in this unity thing. Now, that was 1996. When it was 1998, shortly before the death of Abiola, I felt Yorubas to meet together to decide on the traverse of Abiola in prison. When I was distributing the letters around the Yoruba, around all the states, I think I remember that I was in the house of Chief Bisi Akande, former governor of Osun State, when the announcement came that Abiola had been killed. So it was like I was vindicated. We have already finished the meeting. So by the time the meeting held, we had a full house. So that was the second experiment in bringing Yorubas together. The third experiment was in 1990. I tried another one in 1999, but it failed. Another one was in year 2000, when I proposed that we could have our elders under one single canopy, so that they could serve as kind of rear guards for we vanguards. So that was how the idea of Yoruba Council of Elders came about. That was year 2000. Now, when it was year after Senator Ibrahim Adesanya died, there was a vacuum in leadership. He died in 2011. There was a big vacuum. There was nobody to lay our hands on as a leader. So, and I have always believed that our Yoruba land should be led by a credible person. I've always been searching for leaders, searching for leaders, searching for leaders, searching for leaders. Now, in the year 2015, I was so desperate that we needed to get a leader. I had to visit Chief Olaniwon Ajayi. Daddy, there is a vacuum in leadership in Yoruba land, and I foresaw danger coming. And without leadership and cohesion of Yoruba forces, we might be in trouble. So I said, what do you want to offer us, Baba? He said, well, at 91, I am too old to do that. Then I said, who will you offer? He said, well, without hesitation, Chifayo Adebanjo should be the one. Then I said, no problem. I know Chifayo Adebanjo very well. We had once sat together in the committee of 10th anniversary, 10th transitional anniversary of Obafemi Awolowo in 1997. So I know him very well. We are very close. I had to put a call through to him. Baba, I want to see you, sir. He gave me an appointment. I went to his Lekki house in Lagos. So incidentally, he was traveling to Ijebu when I got there. He said, well, Victor, where are you going? Where are you going? I said, I'm going to go back to my base in Ibadan. He said, okay, could I go with him to Ijebu and I transit from Ijebu to Ibadan? I said, no problem. So we went together in the same car, in his car to Ijebu. So we had ample chance to talk. And I told him, Baba, there is danger in Yoruba land. We need a leader. And I've seen Chifoladunwa Ajayi said, I should come and meet you, that he had recommended you. All entreaties fell on deaf ears, saying he was not going to be leader. I was not interested. That's the bottom line. So I had to go back to Ibadan, a sad person. Now, Professor Banji Akintoye came back to Nigeria in 2016. And I started hearing about him delivering one lecture here and there, delivering one lecture here and there, showing passion for Yoruba cause. I've never seen any elder in Yoruba land that has shown such passion for Yoruba cause. So I started studying this man, started studying this man. Then one day, one Reverend Olushola said, told Baba that he would want to introduce a young man to him very committed. He's like a wizard that is so committed to this Yoruba cause. And he said, you want to meet me? So that man connected me with Professor Banji Akintoye. When we met, I appreciated him. You will see the passion in his face. I love the man so much. So we started relating since 2018 or thereabouts, or 2017, 2018, up to 2019. Now, there was this terrible incursion of these Fulani people, killing our people, naming them, raping them, you know, degrading our people. We were almost in a war of conquest by the Fulani. Then I said, there is no single organization that can fight this battle. We need to be together under one leadership. So I was desperate again. So I felt this man should be the best person to lead us. And I went to him. Baba, in fact, I first of all called him on phone. Then I said, well, it will not be all right to discuss this on phone. I will come to Lagos. And I went to Lagos. I discussed with him that, Baba, we are in trouble. We need somebody to give us leadership. And I feel you are the best person to do that. In all honesty, he hesitated and he said, well, I have seniors in my front. I said, who are those people? He said, Baba Fashion. I said, will anybody throw Baba Fashion at 94? Then they said, Chifayo Adebanjo. I said, I had met Chifayo Adebanjo. He said he was not going to give it. So you are naturally the next person. And he said, well, if you can work it out. So I was so happy. Then I set out. Incidentally, I happen to command the respect of most of the organizations in Yoruba land. I've always been calling them to meetings. They always respect me. So I set out on consultation with the leaders of organizations. I made wide consultation that we needed a leader, and we should put for somebody that is so passionate in the person of Professor Banji Akintoye. So the consultation went on, and made invitation to all the groups, and we met in Ibadan on 22nd August 2019, and the thing was a complete success. We made a success of it. That was how it became
now.
So let me stop at there.
Yeah. In fact, I want to take you up from where you left off because
Yes,
you said that Professor Banji Akintoye came back to Nigeria in 2016 to Nigeria.
yes,
He's been in the United States all the while.
yes, yes.
Now, how come that Professor Banji Akintoye that left the shores of the country for Nigeria, for the United States, came back in 2016, and then was appointed as the leader of the Yoruba people? What led to the selection of Professor Banji Akintoye as the leader of the Yoruba people?
Yes, as I said, Professor Banji Akintoye created a very distinct impression when he came. You always find him everywhere delivering one lecture or the other, one lecture or the other, one lecture or the other. You know, he had the courage. He had the courage to say Yoruba should have independence. Our other leaders did not have such courage. We were talking of restructuring, politics. But this man had the courage to say Yoruba land should be liberated, which tallied with my own primary motive, the primary motive of my organization. So I kept watching. This man was consistent. And I said, well, what else do we want in a leader, especially when we look at the front and the people with experience that will lead have refused to do so. So that was what gave me the impression that somebody so passionate like this should be trusted. So
Have you,
that was the basic thing.
Comrade Taiwo,
Yes,
have
yes.
you ever thought of the fact that Professor Banji Akintoye, having been a former senator, a politician,
Mm.
and obviously coming back because a lot of people are now deceiving Yoruba nation that they are always in order to get to the stream of power. Were
Yes.
you deceived that he was so passionate about the Yoruba nation and knowing fully
Well,
well exactly what happened now?
well, I would say I was deceived. Yes, I will confess that I was deceived. I will confess I was deceived because the kind of respect I have for Awolowo makes me to believe that any true Awoist must behave like Awolowo. And I heard the history of this old man as one of the closest persons to Awolowo. So I felt he should have inculcated the habit of Awolowo. So I I must confess I was deceived anyway. So let me confess I was deceived in a point blank.
Now, let me ask you this question. How
Yes.
is the relationship of Professor Banji Akintoye with the other leaders within the Yoruba World Congress in the last 1 year?
In the last 1 year, well, I will say that you see there is something we call facade in English.
Yeah.
When you see something whose outward picture is beautiful, but the inward ingredients are rotten. So I had a very beautiful impression about Professor Akintoye that he would make a good leader, he will make a good father, he will conduct the affairs of Yoruba land where I expected him to do. But unfortunately, almost immediately we got into the stream. A lot of things started happening. Almost immediately. Almost immediately. Almost immediately. In fact, I
Now,
could remember that when we elected him, it was a Thursday.
you
On
when you
Saturday, I was
when let's
on
get
Saturday I
this
was on
let now, Comrade Taiwo, let's get
yes,
this straight. When you
yeah,
elected him as the leader of the Yoruba World Congress or the leader of the Yorubas?
the leader of the Yoruba.
Okay.
Yes, the leader of the Yoruba, not Yoruba World Congress.
We're
So
still we're still coming to that point, to that area.
okay,
Let's talk about his leadership and how he rose to beat Bola Tinubu as the leader of the Yorubas?
Well, when we did the election, before we went for the election, I already made a confession to you that I made consultations widely among the leaders of groups, and I sold Professor Banji Akintoye to them. So it wasn't any problem when we got to the point of election to get him elected. I had already done a lot of underground work like that. So that made it easy. So that is the position.
Now, what about Banji Akintoye coming up to the Yoruba World Congress? How was he made the leader of the Yoruba World Congress?
Well, as I said, that immediately you got into the stream, a lot of things started happening. A lot of things started being revealed. When we finished the program of the election of 2019, we made a proposal. I set up a committee, and we made a proposal that the organization would be Yoruba Supreme Council. I took the proposal to him on behalf of the committee, but I discovered that immediately we did that election, he had handed over the victory of the election to one unknown organization. They call it Onola.
That is the same Onola. This is the same Onola Professor Banji Akintoye now formed as Ilana Omodua, rather than.
Well,
is that the same?
I don't know the connection between Ilano and Onola. Just let me quickly run this short story.
Yes, so, go on.
Let me run this short story. On Thursday, we did election. On Saturday, I was on a radio program where they asked me a question that, have we informed Professor Banji Akintoye formally? I said no, that I was taking the letter of information to him, the formal letter of information to him on Monday, which I did. By the time I got to him on Monday, Professor had already formed a committee.
Wow.
I just met them in a meeting. I wonder, I was here to inform you formally, and you have already formed a committee. It was later I knew that there was an organization being run by Professor Akintoye called Onola. I never heard about it.
Inside Yoruba World Congress.
Yes.
Yes. Carry on. Carry on. The world is listening. He's reconnecting back. Yeah. Now carry on. I think we lost your connection there, Comrade Taiwo.
Okay. Okay. Yes. Where the rallies will start.
Right. I'm not too sure if you it's reconnecting again. Yes. Can you hear me, yes, Comrade Taiwo?
I'm hearing you. I'm hearing
yes, you carry on.
So I met people already celebrating, and I saw the cases that I knew. Most of the cases were the people I invited to the meeting who refused to come. Then not too long, I discovered that the organization are taking over the victory of the project. By the time the election into the executives will be made, these Onola people dominated the whole thing. Then I started talking to Baba. Baba, why should you do this? The people who elected you have been jettisoned.
Mm.
The people who elected you have been jettisoned.
Mm. Yeah, it's coming back.
In fact, I had to tag them. I had to tag them Lagos Mafia. And he was angry that why should I call them Lagos Mafia? I said because you have dominated the affairs of the Ibadan election. That was where the battle started. Eventually, they made the executive, they formed the executive solely from that organization, solely from that unknown organization that did not participate in that project. That was the beginning of the problem.
Okay,
so, flying along.
Yeah,
we were flying along, and not too long, one crisis or the other.
In fact, it is that crisis that I want to go into now, and that's why I want you to spit fire. Now, the next question I want to ask you is, whose idea was it to put all Yoruba groups together that gave birth to Professor Banji Akintoye as the leader?
My organization. I will not say because I will let me see my organization. Odua Redemption Alliance.
And what is that organization called?
Odua Redemption Alliance.
Okay, okay. Now, so that organization gave birth to the emergence of Professor Banji Akintoye as the leader of the Yoruba World Congress.
Oh yes, no doubt about that.
Okay, now, how did the Yoruba World Congress came about, and who were the convener that usher in Professor Banji Akintoye into the movement?
Okay, as I told you, the problem started almost immediately with we launched into the project. We that elected Professor Banji Akintoye had a committee. I headed the committee, and we formed a name. We call it Yoruba Supreme Council. I took the proposal to Professor Banji Akintoye, and what I got discovered is I said, no, Victor, go and change the name to Yoruba National Congress. So I had to change the logo, change the letterhead. Then later he called me and said I should go and change the name to Ononla Yoruba World Congress, Yoruba National Congress. I was wondering what was happening. Well, I complied. Then later they told me that I should change the name to Ononla Yoruba World Congress. I was frustrated.
But then
how this name started coming up, I will not know.
You never smelt the coffee. You never smelt the coffee that Professor Banji Akintoye had a hidden agenda in order to use Yoruba World Congress to climb onto the next ladder.
Oh, of course, I will not know. I didn't know he had any agenda. I was still believing he was passionate and genuine. It's part of the mistakes. I thought he was genuine until he started telling people that, hey, you these people, don't tell me you are the one that elected me. We have been running our own organization before. We have another. We have Kini for Yoruba Heritage. We have for Yoruba Workers. Don't attribute his success to your. And I started wondering what was this man talking about. So he just came to be Yoruba leader on his own.
In fact, Comrade Taiwo, because we've got less than an hour to go now, and I want to make sure that we are bent on time. Now, Banji Akintoye said there's nothing called Yoruba World Congress and that it is Ilana Omodua. Did he consulted with any of the executives, and how many executives have you got inside Yoruba World Congress in Nigeria?
Well, by the time all these things were happening, I had been pushed out of the organization. I already left the organization.
Why? Why did you leave?
Because I was frustrated.
Who frustrated you? Who frustrated you?
Of course, Professor Banji Akintoye. He did.
In what manner, if you explain to the world, did Professor Banji Akintoye frustrated all your efforts? Because you want to spit fire, and Professor Banji Akintoye has got the right to reply to you.
Okay. There was this issue of executives dominated by an organization, as I said.
Yeah.
And I had to fight for the people who elected him. That you needed to get your executive from the people who elected you, not these or other people alone. And I started battling with me that I was too troublesome, always complaining about me, always complaining about me, always complaining about me. Then at a time, something happened. There was this secretariat that we got in Ibadan. The office was renovated and by a lady, one of us. Then something happened. So after the renovation of the house, the lady had to rent a part of the house to somebody. So I was the head of the secretariat. And I said, "Who are you, lady?" She said, "Yes, she's living in this apartment." Where? He said, "Here." She said, "Here." Who gave you the place? She said she rented it. Rented Yoruba Work Congress office? Who rented it out to you? He said one room. Okay. I have to challenge the lady.
Okay. Let us leave that to one side. As you guys can
Okay.
see, we've got issues with connection. So what I've done is to use technology to bring in Comrade Taiwo, and we have lost him with that connection. Maybe he's going to come back. So I am tapping him from another source. So you might not be able to see his picture, but whenever he's back with his picture,
Oh,
I will get him back uh, into the stream. Okay, now, Comrade Taiwo,
yes. Connect.
yeah, maybe if you just come back in through the way it was before, I will add you
Okay.
onto the stream again. So just with the same stream with the same code that you have, just come back in, and then I will just add you in. Now, let's carry on whilst other people are helping you in there.
Are you hearing me?
Yeah, I
Are you
think
hearing me?
yes, I can hear you properly. Now,
Okay.
let's quickly take some comment. Somebody by the name of Odua Tono said, "I think this man is lying," on the comment box, and I will show the comment. That is the comment. Odua Tono said, "I think this man is lying." Now, there's another one that says, "We still love Akintoye and he will remain our leader." Bayo Fash. And I think a lot of people are getting this uh, confused because Professor Banji Akintoye is in a conundrum. He was not removed as the leader of the Yoruba leader. He's still the leader of the Yoruba. But the Yoruba World Congress does not belong to Professor Banji Akintoye. The Yoruba World Congress belongs to a movement to which he was invited to head that movement. And that was exactly what Comrade Victor Taiwo has been trying to push out. In a movement, one man does not have the power to say, "I dissolve this organization and I am starting a new organization." It is not done. Now, Comrade Taiwo,
Yes.
is Yoruba World Congress still existing? And obviously, I'm asking you this after the change of the name that Banji Akintoye claimed that they want to bear, and that they're not bearing Yoruba World Congress anymore.
Let me quickly tell you this
Does
thing.
Yoruba World Congress still exist?
I don't think it exists for now in Nigeria, but it exists in, I mean, it exists in the diaspora. But no
Why
more in,
why
I'm talking
is
to you.
yes, why is Yoruba World Congress not existing in Nigeria?
All right, let me tell you the story. As I told you, the metamorphosis of the names, I've already told you the background. Now they are eventually adopted Yoruba World Congress, whose name had been in existence before. The people running the organization, as I came to learn very not too long ago, were Dr. Akingba, who is now, who I mean, who is in charge of the organization now. How they came about adopting the name, I did not know. I've already told you. They just started telling me, go and change the name, go and change the name, go and change the name. And then there was a crisis. You heard about the crisis that happened between uh,
Yeah, he's coming back.
organization
Yeah,
headed by
we you were
and
disconnected.
Victor Adeni.
You were disconnected. You were talking about the crisis.
Yes. Now, one day we just
Yeah, you see, this is the problem with
about 3 months ago.
Yeah, we were not able to
Are you hearing me now?
Yeah, we are hearing you, but you have to stop.
Me?
We have to start from where you stopped, Comrade Taiwo.
Okay, about the crisis.
Yes.
One day we had the news that there was a crack in the house where Professor Banji Akintoye had to sack 4 principal officers. The Secretary General, Sikola Adeniyi, Dr. Kinga, and one Olu Okokola, 4 principal officers were sacked. So it created a lot of crack. Ever before then, one Chief October Deji Oshibogu had to resign his appointment due to one crisis or the other. That was the second crisis. Mine was the second crisis. Then the crisis of Sikola Adeniyi and Co were the third one. So after a few days, these people said they sacked Professor Akintoye. So there was crisis. The house was divided. And when this thing happened, when the problem happened, I did not say that because I had left. I had to start running scatter to make sure that the issue was resolved among them. As a matter of fact, I had to start looking for who is the most credible Yoruba leader that I could go and meet so that I could resolve this matter. I had to go to Chief Afe Babalola. I met Dr. Farumbi. I met Chief Afe Babalola. I discussed with him that I want him to settle this matter because it will cause a lot of crack in Yoruba land. And Chief Afe Babalola told me that I was not interested. I had to go to Chief Adeniyi. I had to go to Dr. Kinga. So I prospected, begging them. Now, I was no more involved, but I would not want this to get destroyed. And they told me a lot of revelations.
Right. Now, it's disappeared. You see, this is the problem with conducting interview live in location 9. Yes, it's reconnecting back onto the network. Yes. See, this is the biggest of all the problems. Yes, we've lost that connection subsequently, guys. So I think right now we will bring the show to an end. And on this note, I'd like to say a very big thank you to each and every one of you that's tuned in to watch the stream. We got there. And let me assure you, there are whole loads of people still coming in that we've got that problem. I'm going to decline that one. We've got problems with internet connections. 60 odd years after independence, this is what you're getting. And we've still got some people who still believe that old men can still take us into the promised land. As for me, old men don't have any ideas. They should be retired. They should be retired. Unfortunately, yeah, Bukit Taiwo, we had problems with internet connection. Narada Franklin was the nomination of Professor Banji Akintoye. Yeah, let me show Narada Franklin there. Taiwo said, you didn't interview him properly. We've got problems with connections, and I never had the intention to extend this interview beyond an hour. Olufumilayo Olajide said, these people have nothing to offer Yoruba nation. Taiwo again said, there are questions you should have asked that would allow others to see what's going on. Yes, but then we had problems with connections to location 9. No, I can't take this caller. I cannot take that call because I am on live stream at the moment. I won't be able to take that call. Okay, now let me take this. I think he is back. Yes, Comrade Taiwo, you are welcome back to the stream.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. So, as I was saying.
Yes.
Can I continue? So I had to beg these two gentlemen, these two old men, and they said they will have nothing to do. So
maybe you want to help us put your mouth into the speaker of that phone properly so that the viewers can hear you properly, the way we did it.
Okay. Okay, are you hearing me?
Yeah, I think it is better now. It's fair enough.
I beg these old men, these two old men, that they must please make sure that the house does not collapse. And they said they will never have anything to do with Professor Akintoye again. That they have a lot of
these were the executives inside Yoruba World Congress.
Yes.
Now the question I want to ask you now is what was the relationship and what is still the relationship between the other executives in Yoruba World Congress with Professor Banji Akintoye?
The relationship has collapsed.
Why did their relationship collapse? People want to know.
Okay, let me tell you. You know, I told you I made a lot of efforts to resolve this issue. Meeting some leaders and begging the leaders of the executives. They said no, but there was an old man who tried to effect peace, and he had to call the two factions. Meanwhile, before that time, Professor Akintoye had given me free to call me back, to lure me back into the organization. When everything had collapsed, he had to invite me back and try to lure me back into the organization. So we went to that meeting. We were 23 in number. And in the course of trying to know what actually happened, everybody was just, perambulating until finally Ayoride said, nobody can get to the root of this situation unless they allow Victor Taiwo to talk, because he is the architect of the whole project and he helped Victor talk. Then I now realize the problem of the organization from the beginning. Anyway, where I'm going now, why the issue has remained unresolved in spite of the peace meeting is that at that meeting, of having gotten a lot of millions of naira on the clear of the executive members. Everybody was shocked. In fact, Dr. Tutola Adeniyi accused me pointedly. He accused me pointedly that Professor Akintoye, you collect so amount of millions. He did not disclose to the house. And that is just one of several money you have collected. He couldn't defend it. In fact, he burst into tears. I said this before authority. There were 3.
Yeah. You see, again, connection problem from yes, you're back again.
Are you hearing me?
Yeah, you are back again because we keep losing your connection.
As a matter of fact, I felt so embarrassed. I felt so ashamed of myself because he couldn't defend the allegation of Tola Adeniyi. And he said that is just one of the several that
It's disappeared. It's gone back again.
other money that he had collected, which he never which never disclosed to people. Anyway, I was not interested in that. I was only interested in getting the organization back on speed, and I started begging them that they should forget about the past. I felt that the peace was resolved. About 3 days later, another meeting was called. It nearly led to fist off. Then I knew this problem was still there. The aggrieved people were not pacified. And I said, Baba, don't let us gloss over this matter. Let us call every aggrieved person in this organization. He said, no, it's over. But it is not over. It was the heat, it was the heat in the YWC that made Baba to say, okay, let me abandon the YWC. Let me go and form another organization without consultation with anybody. So when this happened, I wrote a letter to Baba. I said, Baba, there is a crack in the house. And allow me, since I've now come back, allow me to mend the crack. Let us call a meeting of all the Yoruba leaders, of all the Yoruba organizations. We are going to reaffirm you, but we need to do restructuring so that it will not be a matter of Professor Akintoye totalitarianism. Let us put down structure so that it will not be you dictating.
Yeah, again. Yes.
Hello, are you there?
Yes, you are back again. You keep
Yes.
going in and
I
out.
just made my weekly release. Which I'm going to release this night. The letter that I wrote to him, that he should allow us to make amends. He will still remain the leader, but there must be restructuring so that it will allow other people, other organizations to have a say, to have a sense of belonging. But Baba just ignored me and took my good intention for bad one and started disparaging me. When you see the letter that I wrote to you will see the justification of what I'm talking about.
Okay, now since Professor Banji Akintoye disbanded the Yoruba World Congress without any due
Yes.
consultation. Now,
Yes.
may I ask you, what are you guys in Nigeria in conjunction with those uh, uh, divided faction within the Yoruba World Congress? What are you doing to mend things back so that all of you are on track?
Well, as a matter of fact, as a matter of fact, as a matter of fact, let me say something with authority, without being modest. Without being modest. Check my record. Check the record of my organization. Let me say to the whole world that with all evidences on ground, nobody dead or alive has worked for the unification of Yoruba people more than my humble self, or let me say more than my organization. I've tried it, and I've said enough is enough. As far as I'm concerned, enough is enough. Everybody has his own organization. Let me face my organization now. And if anybody thinks it needs my advice or contribution, I will be available. To
Where
now say, to now say I want to be organizing people to be united, you are able to make a leader to do this. I am true. I am true. I am true.
now, where do you see the Yoruba nation within the next 1 year, now that Professor Banji Akintoye said, oh, it is no longer Yoruba World Congress, it is now Ilana Oodua, and you've got other groups. Where does that leave the Yoruba World
Well,
Congress?
I will say we are in a terrible danger. We are in a terrible danger as at the moment. I don't know what's going to happen in Yoruba. If the enemies come to tomorrow, they will run Yoruba aground with effortlessly. As I'm talking to you, there's no structure on ground,
No
no
nation,
formation, no
no
leadership, no
leadership,
nothing.
no
They are just,
nothing. They are just naked.
just naked.
They are just Sorry about that. Yeah. You can carry on now, Comrade Taiwo.
Yes, I said, you asked me, I mean, about what is likely to happen to Yoruba land in the next 1 year. I said, we are in danger already. If enemy comes tomorrow to run us over, they will do it effortlessly because we have no structure on ground, we are not united, we are not cooperative, there's no coordination, there's no leadership, nothing, nothing. We are just naked, and we are in a terrible danger.
Okay, okay. Now, does that mean that the other groups that are agitating for the same dream, that I might not be able to mention their names, but people know them, will they be able to salvage Yoruba land?
Okay, let's go ahead.
I said the other agitators in the other groups.
Yes.
When the Fulanis come over to run over Yoruba land, those other groups, will they be able to salvage Yoruba land?
They will not be able because they will not be able because there's nobody to coordinate them, nobody to fund them. You see, I used to say something to the members of my organization, Yoruba Redemption Alliance. I say that there is capacity for us to secure Yoruba land within 30 days if given the good leadership and the funding. I've posted about it. We have the people, we have the instruments, we have all the stakes. All we need is leadership and coordination. But the leadership and coordination is not there.
Okay.
We're in danger already.
Okay. Now you see we are getting close to the end of the program. Now that you have made your point known,
Yes.
What if tomorrow morning Professor Banji Akintoye decide to call Comrade Victor Taiwo to a round table and then say, okay, let's talk? What will you say to Professor Banji Akintoye?
Well, I want you to get something right. I don't really have anything against Professor Akintoye as a person. Me, other people have a lot of things against him. Me, I don't have anything against him. He's the one misconstruing my intention. If you see the letter that I said I wrote to him, I still believe in him because of his courage, but other members of the executives are saying there's no way they can work with Professor Banji Akintoye anymore. So there's nothing I can do as a person. There's nothing I can do as a person. You see, I told you the main cause of the problem among the executives is that they alleged that Professor Banji Akintoye collected hundreds of millions of naira from people, and they said they have the record, and they never disclosed to anybody.
I beg your pardon.
I don't know.
I beg your pardon. So I beg your pardon, Comrade Taiwo. Let's get this out into the open. Some people are now accusing Professor Banji Akintoye of collecting some money from some governors. Can that be proven, and is that on paper?
I don't know where I collected the money, but that was the allegation.
Well, if the allegations can, these are allegations, but they don't have any proofs.
There are proofs. There are proofs. When he was alleged at that meeting, he couldn't defend it. He was into yes.
I think the whole world would like to see the proofs. If the proofs are there,
if you want to see the proofs, get Titola Adeniyi on board, get Dr. Akintoye on board. I'm not a member of the finance committee, but they know what they are talking about, and they said they are ready to blow the thing to the open.
Chief Tola Adeniyi and Chief Tola Adeniyi and Chief Dr. Akintoye.
And let me repeat what I said. Let me repeat something to you. At the peace meeting which we held in Lagos on 17 September, there were 23 people there. There were 23 people there at that meeting. And when Tola Adeniyi accused him of this financial malfeasance, Professor Akintoye burst into tears. He couldn't defend himself. The record is there.
Now, Chief Tola Adeniyi and Dr. Akingba, are they prepared to spit fire the way you are spitting fire?
Well, you can get across to them. You can get across to them.
Yeah. Right.
But I know one of the most courageous people in this world is Chief Tola Adeniyi. And he has the credibility, he has the reputation he has built over the years. And he doesn't want anything to change the reputation. That's why he said we never have anything to do with Professor Banji in his life anymore.
Okay, Comrade Taiwo, we've now come to the end of our time together, but I've got one final question for you.
Yes.
And that question is, what would you do differently if you were in Professor Banji Akintoye's shoes?
Well, thank you. When Professor Banji Akintoye went on here to disparage me, I was very, very ashamed. How could an old man do this? To paint me as evil, to paint me as a troublemaker, to paint me as a thief, and not the rest. But I have the record in the world that since I've been in the job for 26 years, nobody can pin me down to any dirty money solely in my hand. Nobody in the world can pin me down to solely in my hand in any debt with very dirty money. I mean corruptible. I'm a financial disciplined person. So all my the members of my organization respect me for it. So what I'm saying is that you have to be upright as a leader. The moment you are not upright, the organization is finished. If I maintain as an organization for good 26 years and I still have large followership, then you need to give me credit.
Now,
so if I were in his position, I would have done a lot of things differently. As a matter of fact, what people are saying is that, let me mention somebody that you can know. Erelu Ayori, the first black mayor in London. She was abusing me a few days ago. That Victor, we all know you are genuine, you are honest, you are a good organizer. Why are you always building organizations and looking for people to destroy it? You build organization and you start looking for leaders. We all know you to have endowments to leadership. Why are you always looking for people to destroy your organization?
Now, I've got this other question for you, Comrade Taiwo, and then we will round up.
If I were him, I would have done things differently. If I were him, I would have done things differently. There would have been strong cohesion in Yoruba land. There would have been a very focused agenda in Yoruba land. We will not be where we are today. For example, this Amoteku thing that we did, it was the best we ever had in Yoruba land. It was the thing that ever united us in Yoruba land. You know, I was a principal after in the thing, and the program was handed over to Professor Akintoye on a platter of gold. The governors handed over the program to me. And Baba, you are now a leader. Coordinate the thing.
In fact, that is going to take me to the next question, Comrade Taiwo.
Yes.
Now, the Yoruba people, can they be coordinated? That's number one. What is the relationship between Professor Banji Akintoye and Gani Adams? Number two.
Yeah.
What is the role of Afenifere and Professor Banji Akintoye with Afenifere, knowing fully well that Afenifere is splitted up into 3 groups?
Yeah.
What is the relationship between Professor Banji Akintoye and Voice of Reason and many other groups? Now, what is the relationship between Professor Banji Akintoye with majority of the Obas in Yoruba land?
Thank you. You see, when this program began, those who know Dr. Taiwo very well will tell you this guy is a genius when it comes to organization. I put up a strong proposal of Professor Banji, how to get everybody in the same fold, even the foes, even the enemies. I gave him all the strategies. Get all the robbers, get all the VIPs, get all the organizations in the Yoruba land, including anybody that were fighting him. Under sound leadership, he would have succeeded at getting everybody under his feet. But he just threw away all my proposals. I have them in my back. I can start producing them to the world to see how solid these proposals have been. Then everything was jettisoned. So this is why we now have the crisis. He should have known how to, how to harmonize the others. Since he got there, he has never called a meeting of the upper. And I made every proposal, I made every effort to make him do this. Never. As a matter of fact, let me tell you something. Allah for you is angry with him, terribly angry with him. I have the fact. I have the fact. Because he has never given me his due respect since he got there. And I told him, Baba, you need to see this man. You need to see this KBS. You need to go at all these over together. He never got back.
So you are now Comrade Taiwo. You are Comrade Taiwo. One minute. You are alleging that Professor Banji that Alaafin for you is angry with Professor Banji Akintoye because
I tell you that authoritatively. I have the fact. I have the fact.
What about the Ooni of Ife?
Well, we have good relationship for Ooni of Ife.
What about Olubadan? What about Awujale? What about Deji of Akure land?
I don't think he has any relationship there. The only person that I know he has strong relationship is Ooni of Ife. And he has never gone there on official visit. He has been going there on personal visit. Just on personal visit. Now you are talking of Gani Adams.
Yeah.
Gani Adams is a force to be reckoned with in Yoruba land. Whatever is shortcomings is a force to be reckoned with in Yoruba land. Baba, as a father, ought to have known how to bring this guy into the fold. But I'm telling you authoritatively, they are not related. They are not related.
They are not relating with each other.
They don't have anything in common.
But Professor Banji Akintoye made it known in one of the platforms that he's in touch with Gani Adams and a few of other Yoruba leaders.
When did that happen? When he started losing grip? When did that happen?
What about Afenifere?
They are not in good relationship. They have never been in good relationship since they came to leader.
Why is Professor Banji Akintoye not in a good relationship with Afenifere, despite the fact that they've got different factions?
Let me say this. When we met at the meeting, at the peace meeting of 17th September, when they asked me to start analyzing the issues as the brain behind the thing, I said, in my position, I will still want Baba to be the leader. He has some elements of qualities of leadership. That is bold, is brilliant, he can convince people when he talks. That we should know that for him. I said he has some qualities of leadership, but he does not have human management skills. I said it to his face. The minutes of the minutes of the meeting is available. Everybody there can testify to what I'm talking about. I said Baba doesn't have good human management skills. He doesn't know how to manage human beings. That is the major problem. You cannot imagine. I said how I said it in Yoruba. I said Baba ma gbọ́ pé mo eku awi fẹ́ ẹyẹ agbọ́tẹnu ẹyẹ awi fẹ́ àforí ẹ̀gbọ́ méjì ìdákoto. Causing crisis among the executive. There are a lot of evidences. By the time I was talking, I said, Baba, you don't talk ill of your members. What you said, the dirty things you said about me is on my phone. I have it recorded in my phone. And I told him so. He kept silent. He couldn't talk. So the major problem is he doesn't have human management skills. That's it. Then the worst thing that has not happened is that he has been alleged. not me, allegedly, of financial officer, which they could not defend. And people are ready to open the canker work in the open. And I've told you the truth to me. They will give you the proof. They will give you all the evidences in the world. They are ready.
Now,
So,
I have a question.
The reason why he left Yoruba World Congress is because he has lost heat. The heat was too much for him. He could not contain the people. He could not reconcile the thing. And somebody just guided him to go and establish another organization. So he now left Yoruba World Congress. He left all the organizations that were under him to form a new one without consulting anybody. That leadership.
Somebody posted a question to you, and that person said, I have to ask you this question. His name is
Good.
Narada Franklin. I know
Yes.
this person very well. He said, ask Comrade Dr. Taiwo, is there any viable, formidable structure put in place by any of the various factions of the Yoruba agitators?
Well, I don't know of any other organization, but I want to tell you, without being immodest, anybody close to our system in Yoruba nation will know that I speak with full authority that we are running the best organization, not only Yoruba land, but in the entire Africa. I boast about it that we run the best organization in the entire Africa. So our structure is solid, fantastic, promising. I don't know of any other organization, but my organization is the best, not only in Yoruba land, but in the whole of Africa.
All right. Comrade Victor Taiwo, thank you very much. I think we've run out of our time. We started a little bit late. Thank you for your time. The time in London is 19:24, coming to 25 today, Monday, the 2nd day of November 2020. Comrade Taiwo, it's my pleasure to have you. And without any shadow of doubt, Frank Bello is going to reach out to Chief Tola Adeniyi and Dr. Akingba, because you did make mention of their names.
Yes.
And I will get onto them, hopefully, and I will try as much as possible to bring them onto the show, onto the stream, so that they can come and tell us, because we need to get the records straight.
Yes.
You mentioned their name, and I'm pretty sure both Chief Tola Adeniyi and Dr. Akingba will be here to defend all the allegations that you have put through. And if Professor Banji Akintoye wants to come in to defend himself too, he's got the right to defend himself. So on this note,
there's another person I want to bring in. Sorry.
Yes, go on.
I want you to bring in. Call Elder Dr. Taya Yoride.
Elder
Dr. Taya Yoride. It will open a lot of cans of worms for you.
I will definitely get onto these three people that you have just mentioned their names. First is Chief Tola Adeniyi, Dr. Akingba, and Elder Dr. Taye Ayorinde. These are big shots. These are big people. And these are, now, can I ask you one last question? Chief Tola Adeniyi, Dr. Akingba, Elder Dr. Taye Ayorinde, are these three elders in the same Yoruba World Congress, and are they executive members of the Yoruba World Congress?
Dr. Akingba, Tola Adeniyi are members of the executives of the organization.
Oh.
Dr. Taye Ayorinde was the chairman of the event that elected Professor Akintoye.
Okay, so Elder Dr. Taye Ayorinde was the chairman of that group that elected him as the leader of the Yoruba leader.
Yes, and he was the one that made the announcement to the whole world.
Okay, and he's ready to spit fire as well.
He's ready.
Okay, now we will get the record straight.
All with facts and figures.
With facts and figures.
Oh,
no worries, no worries. We will get there. Because we don't really want to put Yoruba Nation into the next phase with all these shenanigans. And on this note, Comrade Victor Taiwo, thank you very much for coming on to the live stream. We're going to do it again, and I will be in touch with both Chief Tola Adeniyi, Dr. Akingba, and Elder Dr. Taye Ayorinde. Thank you for coming on to the stream. It's been a pleasure having you on my show. I'm yours and truly, Frank Billo. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you. God bless you all. Goodbye.